In this episode I begin my photographic exploration of a small section of the vast West Midlands canal network. Hello, I'm Richard Childs. I've been a full-time landscape photographer since 2004, working with 35mm, medium format and large format film, and for the last 10 years with Sony digital cameras. There are links in the description below taking you to my website where you'll find information about tours and tuition that I run, and also print sales. If you enjoy my short films, I've also just created a page on buymeacoffee.com where any help would be gratefully received and would enable me to continue travelling to locations further afield to create more of these episodes. Please also hit the like and subscribe buttons, which really do help me to grow this channel. Good morning. I thought I'd take this grey flat day to start working on my 2026 local project. I'm going to try and do this thing every year now, where I do a seasonal, a kind of a walk or a featured area and go and explore it throughout the whole year and see what happens. Last year seemed to be fairly successful. I was quite happy with some of the images I actually captured in the end. So here I am now, actually walking along the towpath of the Staffordshire and Worcestershire Canal just outside Womben. So behind me is Bratch Locks. It's a step of 3 locks. And what I'm going to do for the next 12 months is, when I'm in the area, which is most of the time, I'm going to come and walk this. I'm going in the wrong direction at the moment, but I'm going to walk up here a little bit further, and I'm going to basically cover the canal, the 15 kilometres from here all the way to Kinver. So the canal wends its way through the countryside here, and I just really want to see and explore it. And it's a nice mix of industrial heritage, architecture, nature, and a nice linear path as well. Somewhere I can drop on. I'm not going to obviously walk the whole 15 kilometres there and back every time. The idea is that I'll drop onto the towpath at various points along the way and see what I can find. It's currently the end of January, so we're still in winter at the moment, and I shall do this all the way through. Hopefully I shall capture some seasonal images for all the different seasons of the year. I know a lovely section of the towpath near Kinver where there will definitely be bluebells in late April and May, so I'm looking forward to that, and also some heavily wooded sections which should be really lovely with the reflections in the autumn. With today being such a flat grey day, it really is perfect for some of the architectural details that I'd like to do. Interestingly, talking about light, I always find it quite amusing really that people say, oh, the light's no good, or it's there's no light. That's the best one, there's no light. Well, to me, as long as the sun's up, or it's half an hour before dawn all the way till half an hour after sunset, there's enough light to photograph. It's just really about marrying the subject matter to the conditions that you find yourself in. It's rather like the old adage that people say, oh, there's no such thing as bad weather, only inappropriate clothing. So if you're out and about walking and you've got the wrong clothes on, then you're obviously going to have a pretty miserable day. But I think the same thing really applies to light. I remember reading years ago in Joe Cornish's first book, First Light actually, that he had a phrase which he called TLC, so obviously tender loving care, but in his case it was timing, light, composition, TLC. And I think actually the most important, the most critical of those three is definitely composition. So it's a shame there's not an acronym that will be suitable the other way around, because I think it should be composition, light, timing. That was certainly for me in order of importance. So basically, as long as you can find some really good compositions and marry them to the light that you're given, then that will hopefully yield some really good results. And look at this one, here we are coming into view now. I quite like the look of this. I might just break my camera out and have a little look. It's actually getting quite breezy now, so what I'm going to try and do, I've got the long lens on the camera now, so I want to pick out some details and go and look at some, hopefully some abstract images, but if I can find some shelter as well, that'll hopefully help with any issues with potential wind shake. I think I found quite a nice composition straight away, almost out of the car. This is basically an outflow, I think, a sluice or something that's coming down from a higher level, but it's obviously running down under the road and coming up here, which gives the water a bit more movement. Normally canals are fairly flat, so this is quite nice. What I've done is I've gone for quite a long exposure, which freezes that motion, but gives me some motion blur actually of the water and the foam as it's working its way across the canal. So that's basically a 2-stop Grad on the camera, plus I've turned it down to ISO 50, which gave me an exposure of around about 2 seconds. I've wandered a couple of 100 metres downstream from the locks, and already I kind of got a feeling there'd be plenty of lovely tree reflections to be had, but there's a really nice one down here with two groups of trees, and if I zoom in slightly I'm going to get a sense of the two of them there. There's a little flock of ducks that's just gone through, and the water is now settling down again, ready for another shot. I've already got one in the bag, but I'm going to wait and try a couple of different compositions. I think what I will do now actually is pack away and walk the kilometre to the next lock and back and just get some really good reconnaissance done. But yeah, as I was expecting, with wetlands on either side of the canal itself, there are loads and loads of really fantastic willow trees and all sorts all the way along the whole way. So I think next year is going to be amazing. I can imagine this one down here. I'm just imagining this scene here with frost. Before I leave you with my usual selection of stills images, I thought I'd just illustrate how effective the Photoshop remove tool can be, actually had to be on this occasion. It's such a shame that there's so much littering in our countryside, but unfortunately at this location there was actually no way I could get across the canal and remove all the mess manually. Thanks very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.